Today I have some fun fold Christmas cards to share, right out of Santa's workshop. Once you learn this simple and fun little folding technique, you will become a card making machine. Well, in all seriousness, you're going to love these fun fold cards. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, you will learn a simple folding technique that you can use to create an adorable little focal point on your card. The Christmas cards featured in the video today showcase the adorable little Santa's Workshop pattern papers, but you can really use any pattern papers to create these unique card folds. By the end of this video, you will have some adorable Christmas card ideas featuring Santa, Mrs. Claus, and some adorable little Christmas elves. For the latest card making ideas, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. So Christmas cards are one of my favorite types of cards to make, especially when you can use an entire sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So although I'm going to show you some fun little folds today, you are also going to learn that you can use the measurements for this fun fold to cut up an entire 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So that means you'll be able to make 9 cards. First, let's talk about the supplies that you will need to create these cards. So you are going to start out with a 12 by 12 piece of your favorite pattern paper, and you want to make sure that your pattern paper has a pattern on both sides. So mine has a stripe on the front, and then it has some cute little bows on the back. Because of the folding technique that we will be doing, you want to make sure that you have a pattern on both sides. I will also be using some additional paper, so I just chose another pattern of paper just for decorating up the card. So I chose a kind of smaller pattern. You want to make sure you choose something that doesn't clash with the pattern that you are going to be making your little fun fold square with. Then I am also using a third piece of the pattern paper from Santa's Workshop. So I will be using the Santa's signpost framelits to cut out these little images to decorate my card. And you can see that the framelits fit perfectly over these adorable little elf and Mrs. Claus images. So those will make some cute little embellishments on the card. You will also need a piece of white cardstock. This piece is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So this will be the base of our card. You will also need some type of embellishment. So I am using the Santa's Workshop enamel shapes to embellish the cards. You will need some ink to coordinate with your paper. So I have garden green ink. And you will also need a little square shape. I'm using the Stitched Shapes framelits, and this square is about 1.5 by 1.5 inches. I cut it from white cardstock. You will need some garden green cardstock for the accent pieces and your stamp set. I am using the Signs of Santa stamp set. All right, that's it. I think we're ready to get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to cut a 4 by 4 inch square piece from your double-sided paper. Now we're using a full 12 by 12 inch piece of pattern paper. So if you want to make more than just one card, then simply cut your paper into 3 4-inch strips. So I'm just going to show you this really quick here. So we're going to cut 3 4-inch strips. Each of these strips are 4 by 12. And then to get my 4 by 4 inch piece, I simply slide this strip of paper in and I cut it at 4, and then I cut it again at 4. So now I have 3 4 by 4 inch squares that I can use to create the cards. So now I can take these other 2 pieces and cut these up into 4 by 4 inch squares, and I will have cut up the entire sheet of designer paper, and I will be able to make 9 cards. But for the purpose of demonstrating this today, I'm only going to make 1 card because they're all identical in the folding process. But I just wanted to show you that you actually have a one-sheet wonder with this little folding technique that I'm going to show you today, so that you'll be able to make a bunch of Christmas cards. Now I want you to go grab a piece of your favorite designer paper, and I want you to cut a 4x4-inch piece. Make sure that your paper is double-sided, and that way you can learn this folding technique right along with me. So go ahead and pause the video, go grab your paper. Go on, go now. Okay, now that you have your 4x4-inch square piece of paper, I want you to follow along with me. So start by folding your paper from corner to corner. Doesn't matter which way you start. You can use your bone folder to crease the fold and make it more crisp. Now open your paper back up, and now we fold it along this line. Maybe I'll do it here so you can see. We fold it along this line. So now we're going to take this end where the fold is, and we're going to fold this up onto itself from corner to corner. And again, you can use your bone folder to crease it. So open it back up. So you should have two fold lines going right through the center of the square. So you know that this is your center point right here in the middle. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you're going to fold each corner up to that center point. So you're going to use this as a guide to fold all four corners. So we'll start here. We'll fold this one, and then just keep turning and fold so that the point reaches the center. And we're going to do this with all four corners until we've created like a little box. All right, now that you have this all folded, I want you to take each folded piece and I want you to fold the point back on top of itself. So you can see I have this initial fold, and then I just folded this piece back on top of itself. And then you're going to repeat this process all the way around. So I'm matching it up with the edge of the paper here. And that's it. So I'm going to adhere these pieces down. And then I'm going to add little dimensionals on all of my little flaps here. Next, I'm just going to add a little white square in the center just to cover this up. And now I can embellish this with any of these cute little elves, or with Mrs. Claus. I can embellish it with this other little elf. So just get creative with it. So we'll add this little guy. And now we are ready to put our card together. So I am just using a 5.5 by 2-inch piece of the polka dot designer series paper that I showed you earlier. So I'm just going to put that right in the center of my card. Now I can put this directly on my card just like it is, but I'm going to add a 3.25 by 3.25 inch piece of garden green cardstock. So I'm just going to add some tape to my square, to my fun fold square, and I'm going to put it right on my garden green cardstock, and then I'm just going to pop it up with a couple dimensionals and add it to the card. Now I'm just going to stamp a little sentiment on it and add a few embellishments, and we're done. And that's it. How cute is that? Now you have a fun and simple corner folding technique that you can put to use right now with any of the pattern papers that you have on hand. All you need is a 4x4-inch piece of pattern paper, one for each Christmas card. In fact, you could make a total of 9 fun fold Christmas cards from a 12x12-inch piece of pattern paper. Just think of all the fun Christmas cards you can create with this super simple corner fold idea. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the tips shared here today. Have fun getting creative, take care, and I'll see you soon.